subscribe. Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
Let's get Snow Mexican in here. Snow Mexican.
Hey, can you
I
hear
can
me,
hear you, man.
Tariq?
What's going on?
Hey, Tariq, I thought about this, and I wanted to ask you a question. Do you think the only
You're break
people that actually qualify for reparation are the African countries that slaves were taken from?
those countries
Hello?
would qualify?
Yeah, because you like you said, right? Most of the foundational Black Americans were brought over through the transatlantic slave
Those
trade, right?
countries sold
So,
us.
Right. So yeah, they wouldn't get
what do you mean those
yeah,
countries?
they wouldn't get compensation for slavery when some of them they sold us. Also, many of us were already over here. And also, those nation states don't even exist no more. Right, Snow?
Hmm. No, you're right, but I feel like because like for example, like with the Indians, right? They give the reparations to like the nation of the Navajos, right? And you as a foundational Black American, you don't have a nation state. Do you understand my
The
reasoning?
Navajos don't have a nation state. What's their nation state?
They're sovereigns. Like you can literally look on a map. Most of the Indian territories they literally have their own government,
Wouldn't that be
their own
their
police, their
reparations?
own.
Right. Right. Yeah, they were given that. That was something that was given to them by the US.
No, they already had their
No, they
territories. That's why there was the whole
no,
Indian American War.
no, sir. They moved them around.
They were never given that territory. They retained their territory
No,
through
sir.
fighting
No,
and shedding blood.
slow down, sir. They were pushing the what do you think the Trail of Tears was?
Yeah, they were pushing into their
That
territory.
wasn't their territory. They were pushed into a whole different territory that they weren't even from.
The Trail of Tears is a history of Native Americans walking a long road from their foreign lands, from their native lands, actually, across the country.
Right.
So we do agree that they were their own nation. They had their own nation
No,
state.
their
I
lands
feel
were
like
taken from
reparation
them.
can only
Their
be.
lands were taken from them, and they were forced out.
I understand that, right? But that's what justifies their reparation. But on the other hand, the foundational Black Americans, the slaves that came from Africa, were taken, and I feel the only person you can pay that reparation to is to the African nations that already exist. Because I feel like the biggest reason why you see these African nations in distress is because of the transatlantic slave trade and the whole injustice that happened over years and years
That'll
before.
make
Do you see my reason?
That makes zero sense. Number one, those African nations don't exist no more. Number two, there were already Black Aboriginal people here. There were more than just the so called five civilized tribes. There were Black Aboriginal people here. Many of them just got reclassified as Negro, and many of them were put into slavery.
I don't understand that. Like Tariq, like explain that to me. How can you just like completely take away from the transatlantic slave? Like you do agree that Africans were taken from Africa
Because
and brought
Africans
to
took
Europe?
part in that, bro. They sold us. What don't you get about that? They already got the reparations up front.
And also,
That's
hold on. Also, the thing is, the slave trade existed, but do you know only a small percentage of the people who were brought over to Africa were brought to North America? Very small percentage. This is very well documented. The slave trade was very well documented. Most of the people they brought out of Africa, they took them to the Caribbean and South America. Only about 4 or 5% of the people brought from Africa were brought to North America. So yes, we have mixed in with some of them, but there were Black Aboriginal people here, and then there was an ethnogenesis. We became a whole new ethnic group. And some of these Native American tribes, they were created with an ethnogenesis as well. So you're saying they were nation states? No, they weren't. There was no such thing as a Creek Indian until the white supremacists came and said, "Hey, all of you Indians over here by the creek, I'm gonna call you Creek Indians." It didn't exist.
This is my source, right? According to the Low Country Digital History Initiative, this is like a EDU website. They say over 12 million Africans were brought to America.
No. Taken, but no, they weren't. 12 million were not brought here to America. They were brought to the Americas.
It says according to the 1790 first census of the United States, there were over 3.9 million transatlantic slave like Africans, like people bought from the boats.
From what year to what year?
From the 1860 to 17, so from the 1790 to the 1860, 3.9 million.
No. See, this is where you're wrong because they weren't bringing people over here after like 1810. It was illegal to bring people over here on ships after 1810. So yeah, they weren't doing.
But you would say at a minimum more than a million came from Africa to America.
No. You know why? It's mathematically impossible. That's mathematically.
Okay.
How could a million?
Yeah.
Listen.
I'm listening.
What year did you say from 17 what or from 16 what? What year did you say?
From 1790 all the way to 1860.
Right. No, because like I said, they stopped the transatlantic slave trade, bringing people in on boats. They stopped that in the early 1800s. All right. Also, it's mathematically impossible to bring all those people over because those trips took 5 to 6 months each way. You're not going to pack the boats up with them many people. All right, let's say you had 200 at the most, but it wasn't even them many. Most likely it would be 50 here, 60 here, 70 here. It was no more than 200.
No, I can see to that, right, Tariq? But my last
just look at
question,
at the math and the logistics of it. Just
yeah, like I said, I can see to that, Tariq. But not my next question to you is that don't you think that the Black movement as a whole would be much better if parts of Africa were more developed, like more African Americans and foundational Black Americans came back to Africa, right? Because I think that's always the issue that I have with this type of movement, that if Africa is not good, Black people are not good. You see what I'm saying? Like you can be you can be here in America and you're perfectly prosperous, but if the motherland is not good, then you're not good, or any Black person anywhere.
My motherland is America.
You can say that, but if you take a DNA test, I'm pretty sure you're going to have some African DNA, right? Like you're probably going to be from sub-Saharan or some place in Africa.
And you're Mexican. You're going to have the same amount as me. Mexico was a slave colony full of African people, sir.
I understand, Tariq. All I'm saying is, just like with the example of the Jews taking back Israel, an example of the Asian having their Asian homeland. You can deny it, but
sir, if that
the dysfunction comes from
using logic, how come you didn't go to Spain? You're Mexican. Mexico is not doing well. Why don't you go to Spain and connect with Spain?
I'm not Mexican. I'm African. I just use this. This is just a dummy account.
Okay, so you pretend to be a Mexican.
No, I don't pretend to be a Mexican. This is just a dummy account. I don't like to reveal my identity on
accent, so you can't be. You're not African. You have a Hispanic accent. I can hear your Hispanic accent. I live in LA. I hear Hispanics all day. You're Hispanic, sir.
I'm not Hispanic. I'm telling you, I'm from Africa. I was born in Africa.
What part of Africa were you born?
I was born in Cameroon, Douala.
So the lady,
I speak French.
So the lady who called up, okay, what's your name in French Cameroonian?
My name?
Yeah.
I'll give you my family name. My family name is Camdoum.
Okay. And you speak fluent French? Parlez-vous français?
Oui, je parle français.
Parlez-vous français?
Oui, je parle français.
Now, how long have you been over here in the Americas?
I mean, currently, right now, I live in America sometimes, but sometimes I live in Brussels or
Okay.
Belgium. Um, yeah, but I have citizenship in
Right.
America and a dual citizenship in another
So
country.
the thing is, y'all want us to go over there and get Africa popping for you. Hey man,
No, no, it's not that. It's not that because, like, look, you said this before, right? If you look at the Black Americans in America and you just look at their economic size, right? I think it's like if you put them together, they're one of the like maybe number four, number five. I forgot what the stats are. If you use that power and you come to Africa and use the resources, because if you go to Africa right now, you know who's actually colonizing Africa
it,
today is the Asians, the Chinese and yeah.
yeah,
Go
it's
ahead.
Asians, and y'all don't want to build nothing, man. Man, look, y'all want us to go over there and drop off some money, and y'all look at
It's not about dropping off money. I mean, what are the Asians doing? They're
they,
building the telecommunication services there. They're building the hospitals, things like that. If Black Americans came to Africa, did some of those things, right? And you will benefit too. It's not like you would just it will be a money
because
sink.
what
It will
happens is
be
y'all will finesse us like y'all finesse a lot of foundational Black Americans. This is the problem. A lot of foundational Black Americans go over there, and they get finessed. They're complaining all on the internet and all on YouTube.
then okay. Tell me, Tariq. Then how do the Asians go to Africa and colonize and they don't get
They
finesse?
go over there with a colonizing mentality. We go over there on some brotherly love stuff, and y'all look at that as a weakness. They go over there, they ain't trying to be your brother. They're like, look, we're going to give you a loan, give me your resources. If you default on this loan, we're going to take your resources. Uganda, they almost took their damn airport not too long ago. So they go in like colonizers. They set up places over there, the Asians they set up little stores in places where the local blacks can't even go. That happened in Kenya. They set up like a little club or store, something like that, and the locals couldn't even go in there. So they go.
And and Tariq, that doesn't enrage you because I feel that if if the Asians are able to essentially suck Africa dry of their cobalt and all their resources, I feel like you're kind of you're you're making it seem like the FBAs don't have the tenacity or the ability to develop a country. And I think that goes back to the example of the brother from foreign, right? If they gave you California or some state there, would you guys be able to actually develop and not be
I
at the
just,
same state
right.
as Africa? And don't bring the Wall Street, Black
I
Wall Street
just
back
point.
from
I
whatever.
just pointed out all of the black businesses that are very successful that we have over here. We thrive over here with a lot of our entrepreneurs. I just pointed a lot of that out. When we go over there to do business, we're not going over there like college.
You pointed out like what, like small $1 million industries, like what multi-billion dollar industries that you guys are in that does just infrastructure work. That's the question there. And it goes back to what Foreign said, right? You guys just have a different master, and people in Africa just they have different masters as well. So it's like it's this like disunity, and I get it. You want to delineate, but it's the point of if Africa is suffering, all Black people from across the whole world, whether you're in Spain, whether you're in Canada, whether you're in the U.S., you're going to suffer because your motherland
Well, well,
is
our
suffering.
motherland is here, and we're not suffering to the point where we have to flee. We stand on business and make a way for ourselves. So you're trying to project your own fleeing onto us. Why don't you just stay home and start building on your own? Nothing stopping
I do build in Cameroon. I came
you.
here as a Cameroonian born person. I invest money in Cameroon. I have businesses there.
You're not.
But
You're
go ahead.
not there. You're never there. Y'all talk about all these businesses you have there. Y'all not building.
I'm literally going to be there in February.
And then y'all point,
But regardless of that, I'll concede
slow
to that.
down,
Yes,
because then y'all want to point the finger at us. We're fine. We're fine compared to what y'all got going on over there. Don't try to drag us in the mix. Y'all handle it. Y'all got them Asians over there. Y'all handle that, because when we want to go over there and help, we got to drop off all types of money, and we're not trying to be finessed. So we're going to let you handle your business. We're fine. We're not running all over the place. No disrespect.
can I ask you one thing, Tariq, and I'll
Yes,
I'll drop
sir.
off. Why is it that in America, if you're a black individual and you try to appraise your house gets appraised way lower. You look at health outcomes, it's way lower. You look at all facets of life compared to white Americans, right? Everything is lower. And that's my last question,
We're
man.
under global white supremacy. The same thing when you go to Cameroon, you go to South Africa, you go to any African nation, the white people who live in those places, they have running water, heat, constant electricity, and food. But the black people have to go fetch water from wells. They have unpaved roads, and you got to eat bushmeat in many of these places. So the white people, they are living good in these places, and the black people are suffering. That's because of global white supremacy, sir. That's all that is. And we're very
So you do agree that black people in America are in the same circumstances black people in
yeah,
Africa?
we're under global white supremacy. The only difference is we fight white supremacy consistently and we fight it head on. You've been unfortunately psychologically defeated by the white supremacists, sir.
That's completely wrong. Look at Burkina Faso and Mali
That's
and Chad. They're getting together to form a
that's
global
one.
alliance, right? They're literally chasing out the French and a lot of different countries. So I feel like you have an image of what Africa
Hold on.
is,
In
and you're
Cameroon, though, I'm talking about Cameroon. Yeah, you have you got a couple of African nations that'll try to buck up and say, "Hey, enough is enough." When you had Idi Amin, who said, "Hey, enough is enough. Let me buck up on y'all a little bit," so he had to go into exile. You had Mugabe. When I've been to Zimbabwe, love Zimbabwe. He had to buck up on the Rhodesians and said, "Okay, it's time to get up out of here." So yeah, you'll have some. I like my man Julius Malema down there in South Africa. I like what he's talking about. I want to see more of that energy. So you have a handful, but a lot of you are not. Let's be very real. A lot of you, psychologically, you've been colonized and conquered. We haven't. That's why people do what they need to do to get over here under us. See, that's the difference, sir. That's why.
but every single month or week I see another black person getting shot down and killed or choked out or even in jail. I mean, like I don't know, like you say
Yeah,
these things, Tariq, but like the statistics
yeah,
don't
yeah,
lie.
yeah. We got cowardly white supremacists who work for the state, and yeah, they can corner off some black person and do a cowardly killing. Yeah, they do that all the time. They have to corner one of us off, and then we rise up. We rise up, and then we.
And then not to interrupt you, I feel like ever since
Oh shit! I'm talking. Yeah, we as foundational Black Americans, we got to go up against the entire military, and yeah, when you're up against the entire military, yeah, they can get a one off. They can sneak up on a black person and kill him. And, then we'll make some noise about it. We'll get some justice here and there. But yeah, it's not like them coming over one or two Asians colonizing a whole damn nation of black folks. That's totally different, sir. You understand what I'm saying? You going over there.
I understand, Tariq, and thank you for the
Hold on.
stage. I
Okay.
appreciate it.
But yeah, yeah, yeah. That's way different than an Asian coming over there and colonizing millions and millions of people by themselves, and then y'all bowing down to them. Yeah, every now and then, the U.S. military, which is what the police is, yeah, they can corner a black person off and kill him, and then they got their military to back them up. They got to use the National Guard on us and the whole nine. Look at what they got to do in order to get that kill off, though. You see, that's why that shit ain't really feasible for them. You got to spend all of that money militarily suppressing us, and then you got to spend money paying off the family. So, yeah, the price of hitting us up, it's a lot. Yeah, if you want to get one of us off, it's a high price to that. Now they want to colonize y'all. All they need is a couple of sticks and some chicken wings, and bam, and a couple of Bibles, and they got y'all locked down. No disrespect, no disrespect at all. Let's just, that's why we're a little bit different. We approach white supremacy different. And you talk about killings, y'all be killing each other over there. I got roving gangs, and the police be beating folks up. We see them videos. We see them police over there beating folks down for not giving them a bribe, like, give me money, nigga, pop, pop, and hitting you with sticks and shit, and the women getting beat up with sticks. Come on now. You don't want to go there. No disrespect. No disrespect. Now, who we got here? Let's get Assad Ra. Assad Ra in the building. Mr. Assad Ra. What's up, Assad?
Peace and love, Tariq. Long time no talk. Hope everybody doing well in here.
How you doing, brother?
Doing good, man. You know, frequency attack wake me up when I see your spaces. I mean, knocked out, but I'll be up, bro. And like you said, we up against the whole military, so that's just one of their tactics. But when you a leader, they design those plans against you from a young age. You know what I mean? They already have their operations and plans towards how to surgically like remove leaders from your community. And so what Foreign was talking about earlier, he just might not understand those strategies, you know, have been put in place since the 60s,
Yeah.
right? So I wanted to touch on the Ghana citizenship because I hear a lot of people saying, oh, if shit hit the fan, I'm gonna pack my shit and go to Ghana. But what they need to understand is they have to be in Ghana for a certain amount of time to get their right to abode there.
Right.
Just because they might have some African DNA. But another thing to understand is what the snowy Mexican guy was speaking on, and I'm gonna land my plane after this, but who makes these DNA tests? Not us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We ain't the ones testing it and looking at the strand and saying, oh yeah, this is qualified African. You can go back and get citizenship. Like, we not the ones who make that. They make that. You know what I mean? So they could spit out whatever type of mathematical breakdown they want to make you feel somewhat special, when really they just took your DNA for data purposes or for bioweapon purposes to find a better way to more covertly attack you. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And they've been covertly attacking me for 10 years for my DNA.
Mm.
But most Black Americans will wait till I'm dead before they be like, justice for Assad, you know, let's march on Washington for Assad. So I wanted Foreign to understand that, you know, the biggest difference between back then and now is they didn't wait till you died to say, let's get justice for Assad. You know, they wait till I'm dead today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just hear my story and they like, shit, it's just another nigga, just he'll be dead like Jordan Neely, and they'll be like, yeah, we called him Michael Jackson on Dispatch because he a superstar. He make excellent music. And Kanye and Drake just wanted to take his ideas from off this BCI that been brain hacking him for 10 years. You know what I mean? But you wouldn't know that. You know what I'm saying? This is like, I got to break it down for you. But it's like, I have no mental illness. I have no criminal record. I have a college degree from Kelly School of Business. You know, my group of friends is pretty popular. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you have that life path one, that leadership quality, you know, I can go sit with Farrakhan and have these talks with him.
Thank you, brother. Let me land your plane. We're just kind of going on and on and on. Thank you, brother. Let me get one more call in here before I go because it's getting late. Let me get one more call in here. Let's get 69 cent freedom. 69 cent freedom in the building. 69.
Yes. How you doing, brother?
Hey man, how you doing, 69?
Wonderful, wonderful. I've been listening to you for a while, and I love everything that you're doing. And the reason why I wanted to come up to the stage is I wanted to give you another resource that I know you give, some books that solidify to some people that are unaware that we are also people that have been here on this continent in the Americas for a very long time.
Yeah.
Would you mind if I give you one of those resources?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, there's a book called The American Indian, Who Is He? With a question mark after it. It's written by a Caucasian by the name of the letter G for the initial Whitfield Ray, Ray. All right. And this is very interesting what it says on page 102. Short paragraph. All right.
Okay.
Very interesting. So it says first, the American Indian is Aboriginal, living in his own isolated continent, just straight to the point. Next, he is discovered and pronounced Asian, kind of like um, the Nation of Islam say Asiatic black man. Later on, servants declare that he is of European stock. We're talking about like Moors and things like that.
Yeah.
Then comes along Donnelly, who tells us that he is neither Oriental nor European, but Atlantean, and that all mankind originated here. Yes, they had to come from somewhere. Idea clings tenaciously. One nameless writer tells us that when people of Asia arrived in America and had penetrated as far as the state of Illinois, they found people of Negroid caste already living there. To those recently found creatures, he gives the name of black sandmen. Excuse me. Those people, he informs us, had elongated skulls unlike those of the red men, aka the red Indians that came across from when Russia and Alaska was connected. Boom. Page 102 of the book called The American Indian, Who Is He by G. Whitfield Ray.
Got it. Yeah, man. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. So yeah, there's books out there. My good brother Chase McGee, he has a book called what is it? He has a few books about that. One of his books is like real to the point. He was like the 18 white men who saw black aboriginals in America, something like that. But look up Chase McGee, young brother, writes real good books on that stuff. But anyway, let me get up out of here, guys. It's been real. Go to hiddenhistorymuseum.com, get the book Hidden Heroes from A to Z. Speaking of books, get your Rootwork deodorant at rootworkstyle.com. Go to fbastream.com to check out my films, Microphone Check, Hidden Colors, American Maroon, Buck Breaking, all of that stuff. fbastream.com. All right, I'm up out of here, guys. Puppy Akute, Lala Vuve to the family. Peace.
You've heard the buzz, you've seen the media stories. Now experience the truth for yourself. Microphone Check, the critically acclaimed documentary uncovering the true origins of hip-hop. Available now on Blu-ray and streaming on Amazon Prime. Visit microphonecheck.com to learn more and get your copy today. Microphone Check, the story hip-hop was waiting for.